Hey y'all, welcome to Girl Meets Screen. My name's Norma, your host of What Up, and welcome to Vlogmas 12 Days of Christmas, Day 3. Today's movie is Sidelined, the QB and Me. Is this Christmassy, holiday-y? No, but it's Wattpad. It's feel good. It's corny. It's very, very corny. It's one of my faves, and so we're doing it. It's new, it's poppin', and I had to talk about it, specifically just one scene. And when I tell you, none of these videos are gonna have B-roll, but this one is gonna have one picture of B-roll because I'm obsessed. I wanna see if you can guess it or if you were also obsessed with this tiny micro scene. We're introduced to Dallas. She comes in, her brother gives her a backpack. He's like, you ready to go? She's like, yeah. Well, we don't know it's her brother yet, but it's her brother. He's her legal guardian. She's running to her friend Gabby, and she's like, oh yeah, like our last day of free education, whatever, our first day of free education, right? Now here's where I'm completely confused, and I double checked by watching the two scenes. However, she's supposed to be a transfer student, but Gabby is her best friend who goes to this school. Also in class, the teacher calls on her, hey Dallas, no problem. Like, I'm a little confused. The only thing I can deduce is like, okay, so maybe she like transferred towards the end of the previous year. But even then, like Drayton, who Noah Beck plays, and he's the leading man character, doesn't recognize her. Which isn't, I don't understand how his brother, who is Josh, would know her, and he would, like, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand how she's new, but teachers know her name. She already has a best friend at the school, which I guess could make sense. So her parents have passed, her brother's her guardian, and when they show their house, they have the whole little like heights documented and stuff like that. So I can only assume they lived elsewhere, and when the parents passed, they came back to this home. That part is also a little bit confusing. She's in class and the teacher calls on her to talk about Romeo and Juliet, but she had headphones in her ear. She was listening to music. One falls out and Drayton picks it up and pops it right in his ear. He does not know this girl, okay? We don't even have the football scene yet where Josh gives him the background of who she is. Does not know this girl at all. Picks up her AirPod and puts it in her ear. Now, if you ask me, that's a little bit nasty. I don't even think I'd be comfortable putting Cameron's AirPods in my ears. It's just weird. Like, they go all, oh, by the way, I have one in right now. They go all the way in there, like, but I mean, do your thing, Drayton. I know you thought that was so cute. Also, this dang hickey on this man's neck. You're no shame at all. And I swear he has a hickey on his neck for most of the movie. Turns out Dallas's brother is the new coach of the football team, and Drayton's dad wastes no time as the overbearing, overprotective, you gotta go to the school I went to dad goes to the coach to tell him how to run his team. And then at practice, when everybody's like, it's supposed to be over, Drayton's like, hey coach, this is where you said it was over. And he's like, your dad didn't think so, so let's get to work. And he's all annoyed, you know? And that's when he goes to Josh. And Josh is actually his adoptive brother. He was adopted by their family. And Josh and Gabby become a thing. They're kind of a background thing going on, but I'm going to say that now because I know I'll forget to mention it later. Also, Gabby's brother / coach, fine as heck. Beautiful, delicious, 10 out of 10 would recommend, in my opinion. Respectfully. Married woman here. So, coach is fine ass, calls Drayton into his office after practice, and, you know, he's basically like being the dad he wishes he had or never knew he wanted. And he's like, I'm going to Waco, because that's where my dad went, and his dad, and his dad, and his dad, and his dad. And the coach is basically like, I mean, you don't have to. You got options. I just want you to know you got options, okay? After this, we have Drayton trying to be cool outside, running to catch a ball. He falls into a car, hard as hell. The most dramatic fall you've ever seen in your life. And it's her car, it's Dallas's car, and he breaks the mirror. And Josh offers to drive them wherever they need to go. So he drives her to her dance practice, where she is talking about her audition with her dance teacher. The dance teacher knew her mom, I guess, and her mom was also a dancer. And the dance teacher's like, baby, you're not ready, baby. You need to work. You need to work. But basically, she says she's not ready because she's too, like, stiff and rigid and, like, routine. And she's like, you're thinking, like, it's clear you're thinking about each step. And I, you know, obviously in dance, you kind of just have to have this fluid, like just motion and feeling to it. Her brother follows this up by telling her that she should like loosen up, go date, go out with friends, like be a teenager. Drayton shows up at their house to give her money for the mirror. And he's like, this should be more than enough. And she's like, I'm not a charity case. And first of all, I hate that line in like movies and stuff, because like what? But in this case, it doesn't even work. He broke her mirror and he was bringing her money to pay for it. So you're not a charity case. He's just paying for the thing he broke. Also, not to mention, I think what we're supposed to be going for is like the a-hole QB and the like, you know, dancer, pygmy energy girl, if we're being real, okay? I'm not like other girls' girl. But he's not an asshole so far or ever. But she just keeps like ragging on him, like, ugh, the QB who just hooks up with girls and yada yada. It's just a little bit strange because like he's not giving that. So I don't know if they just like missed that and didn't think to make him display that, or if he's not supposed to. I don't know. I know it's adapted from a Wattpad book, and so as I'm saying this, I'm like, I'm gonna have to read the book to find out because I won't be able to let it go. There's a party that everyone's talking about. She says she's not gonna go, but then the whole loosening up conversation happens with her dance teacher and her brother. So she's like, I'm going to the party. So she goes with Gabby, right? She's hanging around Drayton. They agree to play beer pong. If he wins, he gets to take her on a date. If she wins, he will leave her alone completely. She wins, and he's still like, listen, baby, I mean, sir, you lost. That's it, okay? Fair and square, baby. You know the rules. JK. So she starts drinking it up because when she turns around, Drayton is already making out with another girl, which, like, that's what you wanted. So what the fuck is wrong with you? But anyways, Gabby's like, Josh is going to drive me home. Are you good? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. And now to us, we are seeing the drunkenness. Her friend is not. However, were you looking at her at all that night? Because my goodness, girl. But anywho, yeah. So she decides to walk home, okay? There's no service. So if you're walking somewhere where there's no service, you don't need to be walking there. And then Drayton pulls up on a motorcycle, scares the shit out of her, but he's like, what is wrong with you? Why would you do that? So he takes her. She doesn't want to go home because her brother, and she's drunk, so she goes to stay at his house. She thinks he's like trying to get her in bed. He puts her like on his little lounge chair to go to sleep. And then she like sneaks off in the morning. She runs into his mom while him and his dad are arguing about just life and him having gone to a party instead of showing up to something his dad planned. We move into like, I guess, away game weekend. I don't know. They're like, did that ever happen in high school? Did I miss that? Like where they would go and they would sleep somewhere overnight? I would assume probably like schools that are like big on football or like rich people schools though, huh? Anyways, there's an away game going. The cheerleaders going, the players are going. So Gabby's telling her what it'll be like, etc. She says that Josh is gonna make it official. So like I said, they do date throughout this whole movie. And yeah, so they go, they win the game, they're gonna party, and of course, like I said, Dallas is being a pick-me, you know, like, oh, parties, how lame. Oh, of course the popular kids are acting popular. Gabby kind of tells her what's up, though. Gabby's like, girl, a lot of these people will only get into college with these football scholarships, with these cheer scholarships. Like a lot, this night meant a lot for a lot of people. Dallas runs into Drayton and they decide to ditch the party and go do something else. Drayton takes her to some club. He worked there in the summer or something, not the club, in the town that they're in, and met the dude that owns it, and the guy lets them in. They're dancing, they're having a great time. They get back to the hotel, they're about to kiss, and her brother's like, where were you? She's like, I'm sorry. And I guess he was trying to get a hold of them, and because he couldn't, he had to call the principal, and so now everybody in trouble. So now we're at a meeting with Drayton and his parents, Dallas, and her brother. Drayton's being a smartass. The principal's saying like what they did, and he's like, and that's no small potatoes. And then Drayton's like, oh, now I want fries. And I'm like, how unhinged. The level of not giving a fuckery that you have to be and have to say some shit like that to a principal is insane, bro. Dallas is at dance where Drayton shows up, and she's like, I have nothing to say to you. And then the teacher randomly is like, come on, you guys are gonna do a thing. And she has them follow or like talk without words and do movements, and it's weird and awkward, and like, lady, you don't know this man could be coming to try to get her not to snitch on him and saying her, like, that was so dark. That was a little bit dark, but you get my point. You don't know this man. You don't know what's going on. Shorty clearly ain't happy to see him exactly. So to make her have to like talk to him without talking and just using movement, it's a little bit strange. But anyways, yeah, so he's there. She's like, I have nothing to say to you. He's like, please don't do anything to make it up. So she has him mop the dance floors like she always does. Drayton then finds out that Dallas is not going in person to her audition and she's going to submit a video. He also finds out that she's never visited the school before, so he offers. He flies them out, gets them this big ass mansion Airbnb for just the two of them. A little bit much, but it takes her. She falls in love with it. She's like, oh my God, thank you so much. It's great. They end up kissing that night. Next morning, she's like, well, let's just be friends. He's like, right, friends, right. Dallas is talking to Gabby and she convinces her to just give him a chance, enjoy life. So she goes, meets up with Drayton and decides to be with him. And in comes the relationship montage. We get the popcorn scene where they're like sitting on the couch and she's throwing the popcorn in his mouth and it goes in his mouth. And I'm sorry, their acting is not that great. Sienna's a lot better than Noah. However, their reaction to the popcorn landing in his mouth makes it clear that that was not on purpose or planned, that it just happened that way. And they were like, oh shoot. So that was really cute. That was fun. Then we have the cheer moment where she's getting ready to cheer and he runs by in his football uniform and kisses her. And she's all like shy with the pom-poms. On top of that, Dallas's dancing is going great. So she's super happy and excited about that. And then we have a cute scene where they get like closer as a couple and he tells her about his tattoo for his sister Allison, who went missing and they did not find. And it was his twin sister when they were 8. In this scene, Drayton like asks her to show him her audition dance to make him feel better or whatever. And as she's doing it, his dad comes up and he's like, time to eat, let's go. I don't care about her dance, let's go. And so then the mom agrees to like invite her to his birthday party the next day, weekend, whatever. And she comes, her brother comes, everybody's there. The weird thing is, it's like a full-on pool party. Everybody's there. And then suddenly they're having dinner and it's just their families. Which, You were just like, all right, everyone, time to go. We gotta have dinner. Like, what? But anyways, yeah. Drayton and his dad get into an argument. Dallas walks away from the argument. Drayton chases after her. And she's basically like, let's just break up. It's inevitable. Like, why are we wasting time? And he's like, wow, okay, whatever. And so they break up. Dallas is super sad. She's dancing. She's ignoring everyone, including her best friend, Gabby. Gabby keeps trying to call. She shows up at the dance studio and Shorty's just being a jerk. She's like, you're just doing too much, dramatic much, like yada, yada, yada. And she's like, B, I got denied by Princeton, you know? Would have loved to have that conversation with you, but you would not answer. She basically tells her she's being a terrible friend and she's cool on her. Okay, now we have my favorite scene. Y'all, it's so minuscule. It's actually kind of funny to think about. So after Gabby confronts her at the studio, she's like sad. She comes home, she walks in crying, and she's like calling out her brother to speak to him. And then we see this adorableness right here. Ow! I literally was like rewinding, pausing just to get it. Because that is such a cute, comfy, just like... it's just like he has like both his arms on him, right? Like it's just so cozy looking and so coupley. Oh my gosh, I know I'm so annoying, but I thought that was the cutest thing in the world and I just wanted to stare at it all day, so I took a picture of it. They just look so comfortable, content. That's the word. They look so content. And then Mr. Douglas, all cute, gets up. He's like, whatever it is, it's gonna be all right. And he like awkwardly hugs her. So they're all good vibes and we love that. Dallas has a conversation with her brother about how everything's falling apart. And he's basically telling her, like, you have to have more in your life than just dance and me. Like, you need people around you. Mom had people she loved and things she loved. Like, you need to be a little bit more well-rounded. And then he tells her that he has the money and she's going to get to audition in person. So she auditions in person. She gets it. She apologizes to Gabby. They're friends again. Gabby mentions that Drayton still talks about her. She waits for Drayton at his motorcycle to tell him, like, you know, she got in, yada, yada. And he's like, girl, what you want? Like, stop playing with me. And then, yeah, she basically says she wants him back and they kiss. The next and the last scene is Dallas at school. And then as she's walking through the hall, someone says heads up and a football comes at her. She catches it. And he's like, nice catch, cheer. And she's like, not my name, quarterback. Which I completely just messed up by not mentioning that in the beginning, because like then that makes no sense in context out here. So basically, the beginning of the movie, when Josh gives him the whole narrative on who she is, it's because he like throws a ball to someone named Chase to go long. They don't catch it, but she catches it. And then he's like, nice catch, cheer. And she's like, not my name, quarterback. And so they say that at the end, you know, a little homage to the beginning of the movie. She runs into his arms. She's like, what are you doing here? He's like, you're looking at USC's new starting quarterback. And yeah, they're going to school in the same state. How cute. I will say I did like that, yes, he picked a school near her, but like he picked the school he wanted versus like trying to get into her school. All in all, this movie was worth it for me just because of her brother and Mr. Douglas's little microscopic scene. Okay, I fucks with it. And that's it. That's all I got to say. Now, the movie was real cute. It's my kind of movie. Very corny, very cheesy. You're able to just like laugh at how silly and ridiculous it is. Noah Beck's acting was okay. Definitely could have used some retakes in there or some changes of emotion, but overall he did great for a TikToker in an acting role, right? Like, you know, I love Sienna actually on No Good Nick. I watched on No Good Nick on Netflix. But I hope you enjoyed. Like the video if you did. Comment down below. Did you notice the scene I noticed, and were you as obsessed with it as I was? Subscribe for more content like this, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.